Hey guys, it's Danny Plays, and as you can see, there's a dirt house right there. One of my that's not it in its full form, but one of my friends challenged me to make a good-looking dirt house. So I tried, and it didn't go well because the scale was too small. So I'm going for something a little bit bigger. So here you can see the staircase. There's a few parts in this video where I accidentally lost footage, so you didn't get to see me build most of the staircase, but you're going to see at least this part. So here's what I thought. Also, I'd recommend focusing on the bottom portion of the screen. That's the better looking one. Won't give you as much of a headache, but I need to figure out a way to make it so it's only the bottom one. So what I wanted to say was, I was thinking while building this, what has very little color but still looks beautiful, has a ton of detail, and the only thing that came to mind to me was a castle. They're completely gray, yet they still have so much detail that it makes them actually look good. So what I tried doing was incorporating that into this. The build is completely brown, but it's taking the elements of, like, what's it called? It's taking the elements of depth and shape to make it actually look good. Right now, this is just going to be the base and it won't look too good. Also, I had to slow down a bit while doing this part because every time I went out of render distance, it would cause lag, so I had to slow down a bit. But as you can see, I'm making my first little battlements. And, okay, so here we fly over. You can see me building up the pillars. Again, no detail yet, just getting the basic shape down. And I did this for all 4 pillars. I add 4 more pillars a little later on. And this thing is huge in scale. You can't really see it by looking at the bottom part too well, but this thing is actually around twice the size of a Minecraft village, not counting the staircase, which is pretty big on its own. And I spent a lot of time on the staircase, but I gotta say, the detailing process was probably what took me the longest, so when we get there, that took me a while. Also, I was just enjoying myself, because I was talking to friends most of the time I was doing this, and we were just kind of laughing. But, back to what we were doing. Here I'm filling in the staircase, and as you can see, I'm leaving a bit of depth between the staircase's base and the kind of railing. There's only so much you can do with full blocks. So I went and kind of tried to put as much depth as I can, but it's still so difficult with full blocks. Depth is really my best friend when it comes to this build. And here's something else. I am allowed to use lighting blocks. So there will be a few times in this video you see me place lighting blocks around. And that's perfectly allowed. I'm allowed to use lighting blocks. See, there's some. And you don't even see those ones because those are just interior. Also, I didn't do an interior. So if you enjoy this video, please comment down below if you want to see me do an interior. Or, since this is just a dirt castle, if you like the way the castle looks, maybe I can make the same castle but in actual detail and actual blocks. So I thought that could be fun as well. But, you know, for most of this build, used just plain dirt. Eventually, I did, however, decide to start adding, like, mycelium and other dirty blocks. As you can see, I was detailing the pillars a little bit there, but nothing too amazing. Right now I'm building up the bottom section. The castle is going to consist of 2 main parts. Actually 3. There's the staircase, which leads up to the foundation. And the foundation's what I'm building right now, this kind of indented part. And I don't do much with the foundation until later on in the video. But now that I've gone from the foundation, we're going to try and start, once I finish detailing all these pillars, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the same thing on the front pillars I did on the back pillars, but eventually I decided to. and it just kind of worked out. Here's a part where I missed a little bit, and I got so annoyed with myself because I forgot to do the bottom camera, and that happens, I think, a few times, although I bring the bottom camera back, I think, in the next clip, but I think the majority of this video doesn't have the bottom camera, and that I feel really annoyed with myself for doing that. There's also a large portion of the detailing that I missed because I accidentally pressed screenshot instead of clip. But it's also annoys me because you can't just see the full progress. It does actually come in the next clip now that I remember. So it will come back and you will get to see the progress as I take it on. Now, the reason I actually forgot was because I was inviting someone else to a party, and in doing so, I forgot about connecting the other one because I was just kind of enjoying myself again. But here I'm building towers, and I shortened them because I felt that they looked too tall for the build. And here we go, now we have the bottom camera back. So I felt that with them shorter, it would look better, and this is truly the second stage. There's the foundation, and then there's the castle itself. Right now I'm building the 2 out of 3 main towers. The third tower is more squared than these ones, but has a similar style roof, although it is bigger. I tried making a pointed roof look good with just full blocks, and I kind of think it worked, but it's not the best. I struggled with this build quite a lot, and I feel like I could have done more, but I still enjoyed it, and it was a really fun challenge, and I think I actually pulled it off. I think once all the detailing is in, I truly added enough of it to just make this thing hugely... It doesn't just look like a pile of dirt. It actually has depth, and there's perspective to it. If you look at it from one angle, we have arches, and we have, in fact, I'm doing an arch right there. There's one part in this where I get really mad at myself. It's not, I think, yeah, it is actually here. I got mad at myself because it was off by 1. It wasn't symmetrical. So I had to go and do that whole side again. Luckily I got lucky, and it wasn't like an entire half of it. It was that tiny outcropping, so it was a really easy fix, but it was still an annoying one nonetheless. Here I'm actually starting on the main section of the castle. Those 2 bits were like side parts that come off, and if I do an interior, I'll probably use them as like a kitchen and like a dining hall. The lower foundation will probably be like an armory and a dungeon and stuff. But as of right now, this is when I start really trying to... Also, I didn't move my camera again. It was really hard trying to think about how to detail it and build at the same time, think about moving it. I had to switch between controllers because I don't have, like I said, I play on the PlayStation, and I don't have Bedrock on my computer. Like, I don't have Bedrock Edition on my computer, so I can't join from there. And I do have mobile, but like my Microsoft account, so there's just a whole bunch of things that don't work with it, and it's this whole process, and I actually did it once, and it just didn't work. I think they fixed it though, because I'm gonna try and play with one of my Xbox friends soon, so I think they fixed the Microsoft thing because he's been playing with PlayStation people. But here you can see I've built the main tower. Like I said, it's a bit more square. Here's where I start the detailing. You didn't get a very good look at this, and I think from this point on in the video, there's no second camera, which I again apologize for, because this definitely would have looked better. And what I want to be able to figure out how to do is make it so there's only a second camera view and not this view. If I can figure out how to do that, and if anyone has any recommendations on how to do that, please leave them in the comments, because I really want to have it so that you truly can only focus on the total progress, and you don't get this headache developing me just flying around. And I don't know how to do it. Even though I've been at this for like a year and a half now, I still don't quite understand how to do most of the stuff like this, because I don't have the one resources, but two, I still don't understand the full limitations of my editing application. It was only like 2 months ago that I figured out how to do voiceovers, and oh, I've been working to try and figure it out, and I'm sorry I haven't been uploading, but there's 3 things. The biggest one being time. I don't have much time. I have school and I play baseball, and like, and I want to have, and that doesn't leave much time for this. So what I try to do is, I want to do it, but like, with what's been going on, I've been stuck at 44 subs for probably half a year now, and just haven't been gaining any. So the motivation to keep making videos, like if I'm giving the choice to like play with my friends or make videos, it's been a really hard choice between that, because I enjoy making the content, but it's not as fun because I'm not being successful, and I feel like I shouldn't be putting so much effort into it if I'm not being successful, but really it's quite opposite. I need to put more effort in, and I've tried putting more effort in recently, and that's why these videos are taking longer to post. But if I can just get my sub count up a little bit, I'll probably be like upload more regularly, because I'll have like more motivation to do it. But yeah, this is actually one of those videos where there's actually a large gap. Some of this was yesterday, some of this was done today, because it took me such a long time to do. Not as long as like some YouTubers who build like no, big Minecraft YouTubers who do building as their thing. Like, I definitely didn't spend as much time on it as they do on their builds. But like, I still spent a bunch of time on it, so I needed a break yesterday and just played with my friends for a while. Here you can see me, though, really using those extra blocks, and I realized the path block was my friend here, because it allowed me to add kind of a goldeny color to it, so I could really try to capture that this place was rich without using a block that wasn't dirt, and it really did help the build quite a lot. And eventually I used some more mycelium. I didn't really use the podzol that much. There's a lot of coarse dirt in this build. You just can't really tell, but it's a nice little contrast. But I didn't really use the podzol because it didn't really fit in. I used the path block, and I used the mycelium as kind of like a foundation block, and like I later use it in a courtyard. The podzol just didn't really fit in. I might have been able to use it in the courtyard, and that might have actually looked better. Now, here's what I'm talking about. This is lighting blocks. Definitely not cheating here. I turned those pillars into torches, and I used lighting blocks. So I think this is allowed, but you can tell me in the comments if it's not. It's a very minor thing, but I thought that the torches looked nice, so I did that. Now this part, it didn't take long, but it felt like a long time because it was really slow, and it was just somewhat boring. And then I had to go inset it because, like I said, depth is my friend, and I added no depth here. So I wanted to add dirt statues as well. I wanted to add them in the courtyard too, but I added some dirt trees and stuff instead, because if I was going to do the statues, they'd be of knights, because that seems like it would fit in with my theme here. But I didn't know how to do it. Like, with full block building is so difficult. If I had been able to use like fences or really anything that wasn't dirt, it would have made this build truly come alive. But I think I got around it. I think I was able to try and capture like a good looking castle just by this just by dirt. A whole bunch of dirt. And there's actually a reason it's in the desert. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I put it in the desert specifically because it's made of dirt. If I had put this in the plains, it wouldn't look right. The grass and dirt of the plains would not contrast, they'd meld kind of together, and I don't think it would look like right. With the sand here, it contrasts and stands out. And if I had added more terraforming, it probably would have looked better. But I am actually really proud of how this came out because it's completely dirt, and that seems like, oh, it's such a pain to just build with dirt. And I hope I never have to do this again, but I might do it at some later point. Here I slowed down the video, and I started kind of flying around just to give brief glimpses at all the detailing. I am actually going, I think it's too short though, so I'm probably going to go back. I am going to go back, and I will do a little bit of a walk around in first person walk around, going up the stairs and stuff. But in total, I think this actually came out really well. The back could have used some more time, but in all, I'm proud of how this came out. Those sides could have used it, but again, I'm so glad I was able to get what I did get done, just completely out of dirt. That's really impressive to me, and I'm really surprised I was able to make it come out the way it did. I think I am improving as a builder. So, bye!